Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Man, it's a fabulous time of year. Of course, we are a couple of weeks out from the holidays. Football is in full effect. NBA basketball is going on. The Hawks are actually doing pretty decent. And, of course, the high school playoffs with the local high school football teams are in full effect.
There's a lot of football still to be played, DJ, but this is a great time of the year, sports time, big rival games coming up, high school playoffs big. Let's do it.
All right. In just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to talk a little bit about the local high school teams that have made it to the first round of the playoffs, as well as our high school football, as well as our Columbus Valley Area High School Football Awards luncheon coming up on Thursday, December the 10th. We'll be right back after this.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. You know, this time of year, I guess week 8 or so in the college football season, things really start to shape up and form, and you really start to get a good sense of who's for real.
Everything start forming together, DJ, and, in November, what we say around here, you cannot lose in November. If you're going to lose early, but November is so important if you're trying to get into the Final Four, even if you're trying to make a bowl game. It is not the time to lose.
Well, let's talk about the number 4 team in the nation, Alabama. Of course, we had an opportunity to go up against LSU, and you know what? We saw something that hadn't been done this year, rather. We saw a team, Alabama defense, stop Leonard Fournette, and Leonard Fournette didn't have 40 yards rushing.
40 yards rushing, and one of the biggest things, and you got to commend Alabama on this, they've had the hardest schedule this year. They played a hard schedule. They played 8 games without a bye. The Derrick Henry piece, this guy is big. He might have won the Heisman Trophy the other night, DJ, but at the same time, Nick Saban's got his system working, good defense, good running attack, great special teams. I think Alabama's back on track, player.
Absolutely, and again, they've just been sensational. But one thing about that game is that of course, they were pitting Fournette up against Henry, and again, Henry went over 200 yards, whereas Fournette didn't have 40 yards, and you said he already won it in your eyes. But still a lot of football left to play because that was just one game, and I think Fournette and a couple of others, have an opportunity to really shine now. But it took a little of that front runner spin off of Fournette for sure.
Well, yeah, for sure. But this guy's definitely in the high. Derrick is right there, and really, 38 carries for 210 yards, DJ, against an LSU defense. That's big, and this guy's been getting better and better. And like I said, the key to Alabama is going to be their running game. They don't want to get Jay Coker into the mode of we need you to win. They're going to grind the ball, DJ, and they're going to run the ball. That's what they're going to do.
Well, the Mississippi State Bulldogs are on slate for this week, and I know that Alabama can't take a deep breath because, again, each and every week for the remainder of the season is very important.
Very important, DJ, and like you said, they can't take a day off, a game off. It's been like relentless all year. Tough game. And when you look at this schedule, and everybody wants to wonder, well, how is Alabama in the top 4 with 1 loss, and you got other undefeated teams there? Look at their schedule, and then you tell me where they need to be.
Well, let's take it over to the Auburn Tigers, where they went out to College Station and had an opportunity to upset, if you will, Texas A&M. Went out there and impressively beat the Aggies. And, Jeremy Johnson got an opportunity to go back in. Of course, Sean White was injured. Jeremy Johnson played his best game of the year. And, this is after having an opportunity to stand on the sidelines and really reevaluate who he is and what he's about. And you know what? I think that, I don't know if Auburn's the team that you want to mess with right now, especially since Jeremy has his confidence back.
You said something, DJ. Really, you don't want to mess with Auburn right now. You could tell that Gus Malzahn has tweaked his offense. He know what they do well. They're going to run the ball, DJ. And they're going to run the ball with Javon Robinson, a big physical running back, the Jeremy Johnson piece. They don't have the Sammy Coates and the Duke Williams to throw the ball deep anymore. So they're going to use their tight end, their running backs out the backfield, and they're going to use a lot of things that are high percentage passes. Gus still wants to score a lot, but he knows that he doesn't have that same personnel. So he's just going to grind the ball, DJ. And this Javon Robinson kid, 28 touches for about 159 last week, DJ? Gus said, as long as he's winning, getting W's, he can deal with it.
Robinson, by the way, was the Junior College Player of the Year last year. And, again, you can see that he's definitely a force in that Auburn's offense. Now, when you talk about Auburn and what's coming up, it's the oldest rivalry in the South. Of course, the Auburn-Georgia game, you and I both have played in 4 apiece, 8 between us. And you know what? That game, I tell you, man, you throw the records out. And, again, usually I know at least when we were playing, that game decided the SEC championship.
It always, at the time when we were playing DJ in the 80s and 90s, it always decided the SEC championship back then, the oldest college rivalry in the South. I think one of the things that Georgia's going to have to do, they're going to have to match out, Auburn's physicality. And that's one thing that I think they've gotten away from, being very physical. I think their defense is playing well, but they got to find a way to score some explosive points on offense, DJ.
Absolutely. While we're talking about the Bulldogs, again, they were able to get back into their winning ways, beating up on Kentucky at home. And, we really still did not see the quarterback play that we needed to see, but I saw something that really intrigued me. And they call it the Wildcat, but we call it the Wild Dog in Athens. And, putting, Terry Godwin, the young wide receiver, at quarterback and letting him run from the Wild Dog, or Sony Michel. Letting those guys in, I see a whole nother level, a whole nother dynamic of productivity on offense when you run that Wild Dog.
Well, DJ, and I was waiting on the Wild Dog, and get a compliments to Mike Bobo when he used it last year. I think it makes Georgia, it jazzes them up a little bit. They're not playing vanilla. Because really they don't have the team and the personnel to just line up and knock you off the ball. But when you start moving things around and getting a little diverse using that Wild Dog, they become a whole different team, man.
All right, Coach Rick and Coach Schottenheimer, you don't have to get exotic. Just go to the Wild Dog, man, and get the ball into the best athletes' hands and let them do their thing. That's all I got to say.
Well, you said something then, DJ, and like I said, man, one day we're going to sit down and talk about that dual threat quarterback piece also. But at the same time, you got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
And lastly, Georgia Tech was off last week. Of course, they're going to be facing Virginia Tech this week. We know that Frank Beamer, a guy that you know very well, this is his last year, 29 years on the job. And you know what? I know that Coach Beamer's players want to, take him out on the winning side.
That's right. They're going to do that for Frank Beamer. But at the same time, Georgia Tech is still trying to be bowl eligible, DJ. If you're not in the top 4 now, you got to be bowl eligible. You got to win 6 games. And then, they play Virginia Tech this week, come back and play Miami, and then they close with Georgia. They have to win. And I think really with their week off, they're going to have fresh legs, and they're going to be a dangerous team all the way to the end of the year.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Mercedes-Benz Picks of the Week.
All right, DJ, our Mercedes-Benz Picks of the Week. We got Alabama against Mississippi State, Auburn against Georgia, Georgia Tech against Virginia Tech over at Grant Field, Clemson, number 1 Clemson against Syracuse, Florida State against North Carolina State, LSU goes to Little Rock to play Arkansas, Baylor against Oklahoma, Texas against West Virginia, Texas Tech against Kansas State. And don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at sportsvisionusa.com by Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Now let's take a look at our Black College scores and lineup for this week. Brought to you by our good friends from Mel and A Barbershop.
Okay. Ah! Oh. Hey, I'm trying to get crunk.
Sports Vision is sponsored by Aflac, Crown Royal, Express Motors, Diverse Powers.
Truth be truth, the will to win will win. So intimidate your darkest fear. Revive every forgotten fantasy. Set goals you can never reach, then reach them. Count cards to fight fate stack deck. And if you want to win as much as you want to live, you're ready to reign on.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
Someone's sandbagging.
I'd be tired too. You paid my claim in 1 day when I got hurt.
1 day? Serious hustle.
Serious duck.
In just 1 day, we process, approve, and pay. 1 day pay, only from Aflac.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. This is our time of year. This is our time of year.
That's right.
8th annual Columbus Valley Area High School Football Awards Luncheon. Something we created about 7 years ago. And, Thursday, December the 10th, we're going to have an opportunity to bring in all of our local coaches and their best players to the tune of about 25 coaches and about 50-plus players and our sponsors and some other folks in the community to not only honor them, but to recognize them. And not only that, we're going to bring in some of our media peers to be the presenters at this awards luncheon.
All the time, for the last 7 years, going on 8 years, DJ, we've done the award luncheon for these high school players and coaches. It's always a hit around town, to get the media, the sports personalities involved. It makes it even better. But at the same time, anytime that you can award some young kids for a job well done, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Now, you might ask, why do we do this? And again, you and I both played in this area. We played high school football here. We know what it's like to have your name called on the radio on WOKS by Ed Harbison and the likes, when you talk Cliff Rutledge as well. And we know what it's like for Larry Gear and Roscoe Nance to put our picture and our name in an article in the newspaper. And we know what it's like to get awarded the Golden Helmets by Coca-Cola and Losers and Liars and all of these great organizations that awarded us back in those times. But you know what? 8 years ago, 7 years ago, when we decided to do this, for whatever reason, there wasn't a whole lot going on as far as honoring our local coaches and our local student athletes. So you and I decided, hey, you know what? Let's get a group of sponsors and supporters together. Let's have a nice sit-down dinner. Let's bring in a speaker, and let's treat these coaches and players like we were treated.
That's right.
And that's where we came up with this awards luncheon.
And really, DJ, that's putting it mildly, but the biggest thing is that it's nothing like getting recognized for a job well done. And these kids, who coaches bring them as best offensive player and best defensive player on their team, it's a great opportunity for them to show their appreciation of their good play. And that's one thing that motivates you. Everybody wants to be recognized. I know when we were growing up, DJ, I don't care if it was a one-line play that Dale Williams or DJ Jones scored a touchdown, I wanted to see that. And that really motivates you. And really, nothing's better than having recognition and exposure when you're in high school and coming out of high school.
Even with the fact that you get a chance to dress up, you get a chance to have a good meal, you get a chance to get down, come in and get awards and all kind of accolades. We bring in a speaker, somebody to inspire, to motivate, somebody who has done it in a big way in football. And we started, 8 years ago or 7 years ago with a guy that is a good friend and former teammate of ours, Kevin Butler, who is the all-time Chicago Bears leading scorer, one of the greatest kickers in University of Georgia history. Followed him up with Steve Wallace, a 3-time Super Bowl winner with the San Francisco 49ers, an all-SEC player out of Auburn. And again, we have, over the years, from David Green, the winningest quarterback in the University of Georgia history, to Brinson Buckner, of course, big-time all-SEC Clemson defensive lineman, and you know what he did with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the pros. And we get to the point where this thing starts creating momentum. And then all of a sudden, it catches fire, and the coaches around the SEC hears about this. We bring in Mark Richt, of course, from the University of Georgia. We bring in Gus Malzahn from Auburn University. And guess what happens this year?
Tell him, DJ.
The most powerful man in college football. Nick Saban, the University of Alabama's head coach, will be our keynote speaker. And again, these folks realize what's going on right here in Columbus, Georgia with Sports Visions.
Well, they know right now, DJ, when, we could bring in a Nick Saban and we really thank this guy for coming in. We also like to want to thank Coach Nick Saban, and I put him in the same category as Mike Slive, DJ, for changing the whole climate around the SEC, upgrading the SEC, making a creative and competitive market that the SEC is right now. I think Nick Saban gets some of that credit, but I think really the visionary himself, Mike Slive, gets a lot of that too.
You're absolutely right. And also, let me just tell you this. Make no bones about it. This is a football hotbed. So these coaches are coming into this region for a certain thing. They understand that this is a football hotbed. To come in to speak to all these coaches and see all these players at one event is a special thing. And we'd like to thank Coach Saban and Kirby Smart, because Kirby Smart and us,
right.
We've been working on this, trying to get this together for the last couple of years. And finally, we're going to have it on Thursday, December the 10th, 11:30 at St. Luke United Ministry Center. That's downtown Columbus, Georgia on 11th Street. And, of course, we're looking forward to giving you more information as the day gets closer.
More information will be something. Listen out and watch out for the promos and the commercials that are coming about. But really, this is going to be something big. If we can flash on the screen DJ's email address, my email address, we can give you all the information you can need if you are interested in attending this great event.
What a wonderful opportunity for our local coaches and student athletes. And Dale and I both think the world of our local coaches. Our football coaches are the guys that mentored us, that spent more time, just as much time as our parents. And, of course, this is a perfect opportunity for us to honor and recognize our local coaches and our high school student athletes. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after this.
Stop by these locations to pick up your free copy of Sports Visions magazine. Hilton Garden Inn, Chester's Barbecue, and Express Motors.
Hi, I'm Philip Dabbitt with ENS Men's Clothing Warehouse. We'd like to say thank you, Columbus and the Bi-City area, for 20 great years on Macon Road in the heart of Columbus. We're inviting you out to our 20th anniversary sale with bigger savings and deals than ever before.
To help show our appreciation, ENS is offering complete suit and tux packages only $99. Jackets, pants, shirts, and ties, a $199 value for just $99. Find us on Facebook for details on how to win a suit or tux package. Come celebrate our 20th anniversary. ENS, where you get more for a whole lot less.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
Departure, arrival, search, post, chat, check-in. New foods, new fun, new favorites. All right, new clients. Don't stop there. Explore, discover, connect, grow, celebrate, work, live, play. Breathe. At Hilton Garden Inn, we know you'll love our cook-to-order breakfast, first-rate amenities, and award-winning service. So count on us to give you all the ways to make the most of every stay. Hilton Garden Inn. It's better at the Garden.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. It's now time for our Atlanta Falcons report and also our midterm grade of the season so far. We're at the halfway point. The Falcons are off this week, and I know that they started out like gangbusters, but for the last couple of weeks, the Falcons have been in decline on offense.
Well, that's putting it mildly, DJ. They have not played very consistent offense. They started off good. Yeah, they're 6-3, but they've lost three out of the last 4 games. And really, Matt Ryan is still throwing the ball over 30 times, DJ, 30 times, getting a lot of yardage, but they're not scoring a lot of points. Last week game, 30 for 45, 400-something yards, and you only score 16 points? That's not good at all. That's not good at all.
And going out to San Francisco, where they're starting, a guy who had started since 2013, Blaine Gabbert, and of course the number 1 pick of the Jaguars, and of course we know about his tragedies down there. But again, we made him look like a young Joe Montana, and that is not good. When you talk about, you got the leading rusher in the National Football League, as well as the leading receiver. When you talk about Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman, these 2 guys are at the top of the charts. offensive production galore, but yet still we are having problems producing points.
Producing points, and really it seems like we go great from 20 to the 20, and then everything just shuts down. You know, last week they had an opportunity inside the 20 to score. You got to, you know, I thought Dan Quinn was a gambler. I mean, you got to go on fourth down sometimes, DJ, especially when you're playing as stagnant as the Falcons have been playing. You got to score on some things, but I've just not been impressed with Matt Ryan throwing the ball over 30 times. When he throws the ball over 30 times, I bet you he has a losing record, because really, you take the ball out of the hands of Devontae Freeman, and the 49ers did a good job of defending him last week, but throw the ball to this guy. This kid has to have the ball in his hand for the Falcons to get some points.
Well, the red zone efficiency is lousy in every sense of the word. And when you talk about Devontae Freeman, who's right now, as I mentioned before, the leading rusher in the National Football League. Also, he's leading the league in touchdowns with 10. And, you know, it just amazes me how, you know, like you said, from 20 to 20, you can get up and down and play with the best. But on the other side of that, the defense, I think that the defense has cooled off somewhat. I know that they're still playing pretty good, but they started out with, you know, again, with a passion, with a drive that like no other. And I think they got to get back to that. And you know what? This might be the best time for them to regroup. They're off. They get to heal their wounds, and you know, get guys back, get that pep back in the step, because you know you get dead-legged this time of the season, and you need a little time off, a little time away, and some treatment.
That's right. You need to get some fresh legs, get your legs back up under you. I think really, and go back to what got you there. And one of the things I think that got the Falcons there, not only were their running games good with Devontae Freeman, their defense were getting turnovers. They were forcing turnovers. They were making sacks, interceptions, fumble recoveries. They got to get back on that. Somebody's on defense got to score some points, because the offense is not able to score any points.
Let's talk real world here. The Carolina Panthers, same division as the Atlanta Falcons, and I know as well as the Falcons started out, the Carolina Panthers are undefeated right now at 8-0, and Cam Newton is playing MVP-like football. Even though his statistics might not necessarily dictate it, but he is doing everything he needs to do to put his team in a winning situation.
And what you said, DJ, he's playing team ball. Everything that goes through Cam Newton, but really I think they're playing team. Their whole team is playing great. You know, from the defensive standpoint, Thomas Davis, Luke, all these guys are playing, getting around the football, getting turnovers, making things happen. But really, Cam Newton has been the straw to make this thing stir.
Let's talk about a couple of other undefeated teams before we go close this segment out. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals, full of Georgia players out there, led by A.J. Green, of course. They've been playing sensational, and their whole offensive team and their defensive team has come together, and unlike no other. But they're so young. That's the good thing about it. Andy Dalton is having a great season.
Having a great season, DJ. But one thing about the Cincinnati Bengals, everybody's saying that they're undefeated right now, but really I think they get really judged by when they go to the playoffs. I don't think Marvin Lewis won a playoff game since he's been there. So time will tell with that. Then you got the Denver Broncos. They're still playing good. They're still playing good football. So you got some top teams. You know, you got your undefeated teams, but there's still some top-tier teams, New England Patriots. I think those are the top teams right now.
Absolutely. And we can't end this segment without talking about Tom Brady and what kind of season he's having. I know that everybody thinks it was fueled by the Deflategate and all the bad things that were going on off the field prior to the season. But Tom Brady is rivaling his very best season. I think it was 2007 when he threw for 50 touchdowns. And, of course, what they're doing right now, he's on pace to do something that hadn't been done.
I mean, really, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I think really, for all his dismal performance, when people thought he was going to have a dismal performance because of all that Deflategate stuff, really this has sparked this guy. To me, I think he's been playing. This might have been one of his better years, over the years. So I think Tom Brady's going to do some things, and the New England Patriots, they're going to be there, DJ. So we'll see.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Crown Royal picks of the week.
All right, DJ, our Crown Royal picks of the week. The Falcons are off. The Carolina Panthers go to Knoxville to play the Tennessee Titans. Cowboys play the Buccaneers down in Tampa. The Saints will play the Redskins in D.C. The Bears will be in St. Louis to play the Rams. Browns and Steelers play in Pittsburgh. The New England Patriots will go to Giants Stadium to play the New York Giants. And the Cardinals against the Seahawks out in Seattle. Don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at sportsvisionusa.com by 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Truth be truth, the will to win we'll win. So intimidate your darkest fear. Revive every forgotten fantasy. Set goals you can never reach, then reach them. Count cards to fight fate stack deck. And if you want to win as much as you want to live, you're ready to reign on.
Scott Sawyer with Diverse Power. Diverse Power wants our customers to enjoy all the benefits that reliable, consistent electric service provides. Our BPI certified technicians offer duct blaster testing of your HVAC ductwork to locate leaks. We also offer a full blower door examination that will qualify homeowners and home builders to meet the new Energy Code building standards. At Diverse Power, we offer innovation through vision, quality through service.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. And I tell you, Dale, we close this show. We need to definitely recognize and talk a little bit about the great football teams in this area that made it to the playoffs. And I'm talking, of course, Carver, Northside, Shaw, Columbus High School, and Spencer High School. These teams, again, I know that Central has made it as well, but these teams, and we talked about the city of Columbus, Muskogee County football being upgraded, all these teams being playing so well this year. We started early on in week 3 and week 4, but now it's come to fruition that they made it to the playoffs.
All those teams made it to the playoffs. You know, it really gets this goal to show you and speaks to the parity of this region and it being a football bed here in Columbus and in Chattahoochee Valley. All those things, the improvement piece. That's the big piece right there. You see improvement among all these teams in Columbus, and it's not just Carver all the time. It's going to be some kids that are going to continue to get better and better with all these schools.
I'm looking forward to recognizing a lot of these teams that we hadn't had the opportunity to recognize, as well as some of these players who have just been sensational, and especially these coaches. Of course, Coach Marino and Coach Coffey, Coach Marino from Columbus High School and Coach Coffey, you know, these guys, you know, what they have done can't go unnoticed.
Can't go unnoticed, DJ, and really, like you said, you just want to continue to get better, but one thing any coach wants to hear about is improvement and development, and that helps out your program, and it makes a kid want to come and play for you at the same time when they have the opportunity to play.
Absolutely, and again, in closing out, the Atlanta Hawks, you know, they were on a 7-game winning streak again until they ran up against Sam Mitchell and the Minnesota Timberwolves the other night. Of course, got down 34 points, fought their way back, but wasn't able to hold up and got beat by the Timberwolves. But congratulations to the Hawks, and congratulations to our hometown hero, Sam Mitchell.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the Hawks develop over the year, but really hats off to Sam Mitchell and how he's going to handle the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think really he was destined for that job.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.